Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Amos Madra. I'm joined by Cynthia Claughton, who's careers advisor here at Changing Education. Cynthia, a warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been a huge fan of the YouTube channel. It's one of the things that actually attracted me to your company in the first place, to this company, our company. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, let's start there. How long have you been working at Changing Education, and what does your job involve as well?
Okay. So actually my job, I believe, involves quite a lot. So I have gone ahead and taken notes. So if you ever see my eyes darting around, that's what I'm just looking for, to try to remember all in this wonderful, what this job entails. So I started working with Changing Education earlier this year, just literally January of 2022. And for me, it's been quite life-changing experience because it's been revolutionary for me as well. I had been wishing for a fully online remote virtual role. And then it arrived in the form of this role, getting recruited by Joanne Green, the careers manager, who you can see on other episodes in this channel. And before that, I was previously working at FE College as a vocational learning support, being in stables and the equine, all the way to industrial kitchens for catering and hospitality. Okay. And everything in between. So I think if you did ask what I do in my job, is that what you asked? I guess I can tell you all about it.
Absolutely. How long have you worked at Changing Education, and what do you enjoy the most about it?
Yeah, so I started.
On to the first part.
Yeah, I'm in my second academic year, and still in 2022. And then what happens is I have one-to-one careers interviews in a bunch of geographic areas nationally in England, which has been an amazing experience. So I've so far been working at 2 locations in East London and Stratford, and now currently Waltham Forest. I've worked at a grammar in Buckinghamshire. I've been working in Luton and a multi-academy trust in Grimsby, Lincolnshire. I did my initial training in Kent, that's where I'm from originally for my English years. In 2009 and 10, I did a level 7 course. And originally I'm from Seattle, the land of Microsoft, Starbucks, and Amazon. And I immersed myself in London media and marketing and before I got into this field. And I also dipped a toe a little bit in East Sussex as well, in Brighton, with some employability projects. So I feel like I've got a really, not the whole country, but a pretty good snapshot of what's available in different parts of the country. Yeah. So I see students, however many need to be seen per day, doing one-to-one careers interviews with years 9 to 12. I haven't been able to work with as many year 13s as yet, but that's one of my career goals, actually. Maybe working more with UCAS for them or helping with apprenticeships. And yeah, so I mean, from between January to July of last year, I advised over 700 students. Yeah, so, and then, that's what I'm saying. There's really a lot to this role. One of the things I do is we make smart action plans for each student. So that's SMART standing for smart, specific, measurable, attainable, and relevant, and give them action points as well.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Yeah. What do you enjoy the most? There seems there's a wide range to your role. What specifically within careers guidance do you enjoy the most?
Well, I mean, when you're talking about online work, I mean, one of the things I do is I use PowerPoint sort of intermittently with my careers interviews one-to-one. So I guess differentiating the roles between careers advisor, careers educator, teacher, career coach, career counselor. Okay. So, I mean, one of the things I do is I cover some of the things like the cost of a bachelor's degree, the types of qualifications in England, apprenticeships, how, where, and what, and how to be competitive to get one, how to organize yourself from decision fatigue, right? And working with the I don't know kids. Within a 20, 45-minute session, we use insights, using their interests, using actually asking them questions about flow, right? So how they perceive time and the flow state that they get into. And so within a 20 to 45-minute session, we could help an I don't know student have a lot more clarity. So if you have students at your school, that are in that case or a child, send them to the changing education group. Careers advisors like us can help. So yeah, the things I'm talking about are the things I enjoy. Okay. Working with the clients, we establish better workflows. We work through any technical issues, and we make it we make an immersive experience as well. So one of my schools in Lincolnshire, they take the technology and they kind of use a big screen where they broadcast the session. And then I'm all about doing share screen for everything, because you know that phrase, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So, and, you know, kind of like if you was to, you see in China, like they have the big screen and the whole class is watching, like that. I think is more of an immersive experience, which will probably soon be in the metaverse. Amos, you know, let's face it. Soon we'll be doing this in the metaverse. Okay.
Absolutely.
And yeah. There's more to tell. I mean, I could tell you so much more, but yes. So
absolutely. So, how do you establish a good working relationships with your clients? You've spoken about some of the ideas, for example, your PowerPoint presentation, and also some of these other forms that you use to try and establish something with those I don't know students.
Yeah. Well, I mean, knowing that this job, that you can change someone's life every single day. I mean, I got into this work to make up for my own high school college counselor, who I felt maybe could have gone a little extra step in trying to get me to understand why I could do something. Working with clients, let's just see here. So I think working with clients is just considering myself as part of their team, that I am whilst I'm working with them. I'm just like part of their team. And I think having a customer service mentality, maybe over communicating rather than under as much as you can, especially when you're in a remote setting, researching their company as much as possible, and supporting them in their challenges, and also reinforcing the benefits of our partnership is some of the things I pointed out about having a good relationship with our partner schools, and hopefully more to come.
Yeah, really important stuff. Now, you've been working in careers guidance for some time. You must have seen some changes. What are the biggest changes you reckon you've seen over the past 10 years or so?
Well, I think, as I was saying, or maybe I didn't mention that I had my first training in 2009 to 10 in Kent at level 7. And in a lot of ways, things don't feel like they've changed very much. Insofar as you're going like this, the kids still feel very similar in the whole process of one-to-one careers interviews. But I would say the things I've pointed out that have changed over the last 10 years is, one, obviously the technology. Online interviews and interviews in general. For example, Tesla showed their humanoid bot yesterday. Amos, come on, you know, like this was not happening 10 years ago, right?
The machines are going to eat us.
Okay. Another thing, a second point is the different qualifications that are now more cropping up in a lot of more specialist academies, which I think I'd like to pursue a lot more information. I do have a story about like the sort of specialist academies and the being able to advise in one area and finding out that it's available in another part of the country. And then a big one is the apprenticeships taking on a new form. So a new meaning and a new conception about how valuable that they are. And I think with this new Skills and Post-Education Act, which is a new law legislation that's just happened this year, schools have to provide more encounters with technical and apprenticeship providers. So the Changing Education Group, their whole mission is to provide this for schools, you know, along with their software platform, the Connect platform. And then practitioners like us can be taking care of that, solving that problem for schools, because, you know, sourcing those placements for students, you know, with the health and safety and all. Another thing I would say too is the more development of the 8 Gatsby benchmarks, because in 2009, they were just getting going. My mentor at that time in my placement, he was acting as a pioneer in setting them up at the school that I was in, which was an outstanding rated Ofsted school. And so I would say, the evolving of those, you know, the whole 8 Gatsby benchmarks for those of us who may or may not know what those are. So, for example, learning from career labor market information, addressing the needs of each pupil, linking curriculum, learning to the careers, encounters with employers and employees, experiencing of workplaces, encounters with further and higher education, and personal guidance. Those are our 8 benchmarks. Yeah.
Absolutely. The Gatsby benchmarks have made a huge difference in careers guidance. It's important that we have impartiality. Talk to us about that and why you reckon it's important.
Certainly, yes. It's super important, impartiality, because it's one of the code of ethics as part of the regulatory body, the authority, which is the career guidance in England for all, the Career Development Institute, the CDI. And they have 11 ethics, and actually it's listed number 9 out of that 11. And impartiality, alongside other code of ethics, for example, trust, being trustworthy and being transparent. So I would have to say that I'm sorry, personally, if I was working in a sixth form or secondary, I have to admit that I would find it pretty hard to be impartial, because it'd be like letting go of star talent that you think is so amazing, and you'd be wanting them to be like, please stay at our sixth form or our college, right? And however impartial I would try to be, I would struggle with that. So as a careers leader or a principal leadership out of school or something like that, I would definitely want to uphold that impartiality strongly, and by getting somebody neutral to come in. And that's with the belief that as long as we have, as long as our sixth form or college, has a strong offering, whoever needs to be attending there the right people will be in the right place, as long as we have the good, strong, impartial careers advisors that ensure that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And with great careers advisors like yourself, Cynthia, it can only be good news. Cynthia Claughton, Careers Advisor, the Changing Education Group, thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you, Amos. I wish I could speak to you a bit longer, and I look forward to all the different, you just growing episodes on the channel. It's amazing stuff. So thank you so much.